Good morning, everybody.
Hey Jessica.
Hi.
Good morning.
Hey, Angelina. Thank you, Ralph, for sharing.
Yeah. Let me give it like another couple minutes, see who we
Mhm.
can wrangle up here.
In the meantime, does anybody has questions about how to access previous minute meetings, recordings? Do you guys need any links that you might be missing?
I have an outdated link. Do you happen to have anything that's updated? I
That
think
is
what
out.
I'm using. Yeah, I think
Sorry.
what I have is outdated. Every time I refresh, nothing changes. I think whatever I have right now might have been outdated.
Oh, and that link that you have is from the previous recording, or which one?
Yeah, it looked similar to this. It contained the meeting minutes from last month on like the 25th or something like that. But ever since then, nothing new was added. So I just assumed that the link that I had may have just been outdated.
Okay, let me confirm that with you. And let me see if also you're registered to this meeting, because if so, then I can tell you an easier way to access those. Yeah, no, I don't see you registering in the meeting, but let me tell you first of all the past call that was from the 28th. I'm gonna post it in the chat here. And I'm gonna go ahead and officially register your email to this meeting, because then that way, if you go to open profile, and I'm gonna put the link there. If you go to open profile, you're gonna receive you can basically see all the meetings of the past meeting recordings that you have attended before for the meetings that you register. So if anybody, I'll make sure that everybody here is registered, and then once that happens, it's gonna take a little bit of time to sync up, but once you're registered, you can see in openprofile.dev, you can see the meetings that you have attended. So that's easier to grab the past meetings links. I'll do that meanwhile we're in the talk.
Jessica, do you know if Hendrik is planning on joining?
A little bit unlikely because he was traveling and arriving on our Monday, I believe. So he must be really, really either just arrived or still about to arrive. So I think we should continue.
Oh, right. He was in Vegas this past weekend, right?
Yes, yes.
Mhm. Yeah.
And yeah, he had a flight. I think he flew a little bit earlier than me, but yeah, he was gonna arrive somewhere in our Monday.
Gotcha. All right. Yeah, I guess we can go ahead and get started. Yeah, a little bit of a smaller crowd day, that's all right. Um, so wanted to follow up mostly um on the SDK dual publishing and the Python SDK office hours. I know we've been kind of talking about those for the past couple meetings. So just wanted to make sure that everything is going smoothly with that, and we're making progress there. Hendrik wanted to do his Java SDK prototype demo, but obviously if he's not here, then we can just push that to the next one. And then just wanted to give an update on some of the hips that the SDK teams are currently working on. Um, so I guess the first topic, the dual publishing, I don't see Roger on the call. I know him and Andrew were working on that mostly. I think they were also working with Georgie for the Rust SDK. I think they were going to try a kind of like a test release. I guess maybe Ivan, do you maybe know anything about that or can give an update if that went over smoothly?
I think they managed to release a version in Rust for the dual publishing.
Okay. So everything went over smoothly and didn't have any issues.
I think they had some issues at the beginning, but I think they managed to release a version. I can ask him and message to you later.
Okay.
I'm like
Yeah.
90% sure.
Okay. Yeah, I think yeah, so that sounds good. I think there was also some talk about um getting now that we're doing the dual publishing, getting that information out and publish. I believe there was a blog about it, but I think there was also talk about writing something in the LFTT Discord about it. Maybe I'll just double check in with Roger, and I think Mikhail was also working on that too. Um, so I'll go ahead and double check with them and make sure we're on track there. Um, cool. The Python SDK office hours, I know those were still being worked with Sophie and Jessica. Oh, Ivilo.
Yeah, I just found a message from Andrew, and not Andrew, from Roger, and it's from Wednesday, and he said that they have managed to publish both to Hedera and to the Hiero SDK crate. So yeah, Rust is dual published.
Perfect. Great. All right, cool. Sounds like we are underway there. I think just, yeah, the last thing is just making sure that, we have that information published in the right channels. And yeah, I can reach out to Roger and Mikhail about that. Yeah, the Python SDK office hours. Yeah, Sophie, I think you and Jessica were working on that. Do you guys have an update?
Yeah, that's gone well. I just need to update the blog post for it, and then we are good to go.
Okay. I think last time you were still curious or trying to figure out or nail down like an exact date and time for that. Do you have all that figured out?
Yeah, we're gonna start with a fortnightly session, and it's going to be, I think, 5 p.m. Wednesdays UTC. I think I might have that wrong because I'm trying to translate to UTC time. Yeah, I have that written down. I think it's on Wednesday. I think it's around 5 p.m. UTC. That's
Okay.
based on the survey results that we have. Yeah, so I just have to update the blog post and I think give 2 weeks notice. And we are good to go with that.
Awesome.
We've actually had quite a few new starters with the Python SDK. So I didn't update the agenda, sorry, but if we're able to add to the end and we have some time for the onboarding process, it would be great to be able to talk about that at the end.
Great. Yeah, sounds good. Cool. Um, yeah, we can definitely talk about that at the end. We'll probably be finishing up here pretty soon, actually, so we'll have plenty of time. Um, yeah, so I guess next, Hendrik wanted to do a demo of his new Java SDK prototype, but it doesn't look like that he is here at the moment. So we'll go ahead and push that to next week. And then just wanted to give an update on some of the HIPs the SDK teams we're working on. Only got a couple here. HIP 551, the batch transactions are looking to be re-enabled by the consensus team. So I believe that most of the SDKs already have this developed. It's just a matter of running our tests again and making sure that they still work for the consensus node 65 release. So we'll be working on that. And then HIP 1139, the immutable topic IDs. There were some updates to this HIP. We have some additional tests that we have written up. Actually, I'm going to need to go through this again because I think there are even more tests I may need to add. But with the new updates, there were just a couple tests that we needed to add here. So if anyone wants to look through those or get a better idea of kind of what we're doing here, they can look through those. This is in PR right now in the SDK hub. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much all I had for this meeting. I expected most of the time to be given to Hendrik and his demo, but he is not here. So yeah, I mean I guess we can go ahead and open the floor. Sophie, did you want to go ahead and talk about what you want to talk about?
Okay, great. Yeah, I would love to. I would really appreciate some help. So the Python SDK is getting really busy. Just to give you an indication of I created a blog post with some numbers to show. So we had the blog post has 4 new starters, but we actually had 5 5 new starters in just 1 week. 11 new issues in 1 week, 11 new pull requests in 1 week. And the difficulty was reviewing them and merging them. And we had all kinds of questions from these new starters. I've personally never met them before. So yeah, we had a lot of different questions. And so out of the 11 new issues in total, we merged 5 new pull requests. And that's, let's say, 3 of us that have review privileges that are quite active on that. So all 3 of us, we got through around 50% of that. So I'm looking for some ideas or some help to see how we could possibly streamline the review process. Do we need to start thinking about how to raise the quality of the pull requests submitted, the quality of the issues created? Do we need to think about like the structure for the review process? I don't really know myself what is usually done in this kind of situation, but this has been a really overwhelming week in terms of like the community has really shown up. And it was similar last week as well. So this is a fairly recent change. I mean, we've seen it get a lot busier. Angie is also, she has contributed to the Python SDK. Maybe she'll also be able to say. So things have been getting more busy, but recently it's just become more than we could do. Yeah, so I know the SDK is still on the small side, so we still only have 27 forks, that kind of thing. But yeah, things are picking up. It's getting pretty exciting. I made a blog post detailing the same information that I'm sharing with you. Yeah, so I'm just needing a little bit of help with that and wanted to start the conversation.
Yeah, no, that's exciting that the SDK is getting that kind of attention and getting new developers coming in to help out. That's really awesome to hear. So I guess my first thought is it just sounds like maybe we just need maybe another person or two to be able to review these PRs or I guess I'm maybe not exactly sure who is reviewing those PRs at the moment, or maybe they just maybe we need to talk to them about allocating a bit more of their time to help you out and keep things moving there. Um, I guess maybe is there uh maybe anyone that you can think of that could maybe help you out?
Yeah, so I'm not too familiar with the onboarding process for a new reviewer. Right now, our reviewers, we have one person from Hashgraph and one person from LimeChain. I don't know, I'm not personally aware of their time demands, but yeah, it would be good to have more help if possible from them. But also, is there a way to kind of engage the community with the reviewing process? I know it's very difficult to review an SDK because there are all kinds of different transactions. I don't know if there's any examples that anyone has had in the past where maybe there's been a couple of reviewers that are trained on a subset of the transactions, or is it usually just okay, the existing reviewers have should put in more hours?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it might be a little like that for the consensus node itself because at least kind of what I've seen just in discussions has been that there are a lot of different um, spots that require different expertise in consensus node. But obviously that code base is huge and there are different parts being worked on it, simultaneously. I don't think we have anything like that necessarily for any of the SDKs at the moment. Um, and I, mm, yeah, I don't necessarily know because I think at least like the kind of guidelines that we have set in general for Hiero repos is to be able to get up to um, kind of that reviewer privilege, requires a couple months of a person submitting quality PRs and just being, active. So I don't think there will necessarily be a way for us to kind of speed that along or just be able to say like, all right, this person can review now just because we need the extra help. Um, so I guess it might be something that we may just yeah, kind of have to push on our current reviewers to kind of maybe spend a little bit more time um, keeping things moving along, and but then also keeping our eyes open for people that uh, are making quality contributions and being an active developer in the repo, and coming forward and asking them, it's like, hey, like you have been making quality contributions for 3 to 6 months or however long, and would you be interested in this extra privilege, and maybe just being a bit more proactive with that. I guess maybe Jessica, do you have any ideas of something we might be able to immediately do to kind of relieve some pressure here? That's just kind of where my thoughts are.
Yeah, I will need to double check. I probably will need to consult this with my team. How do they usually manage this? Um, yeah, I'll get back to you, Sophie, and on some of this. I will need to see other ideas from other communities.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I can definitely. So we have had some of the new starters who are probably already on their third PR or something like that. I wouldn't be able to tell you that I knew their Discord IDs or anything, so I don't really have a way of contacting them unless they get in touch. But okay, that's the review process. Are there any automation tools or anything that anybody is aware of that could be added to the review process to make it any faster. I think we already have a few. Nothing comes to mind. The other idea I had is to work on more of like the inputs in the review process. So trying to increase the documentation for how to create issues, making sure that you're changing the change log, these kinds of small details. I did a lot of that last week. I added a lot of documentation, but if anybody has any ideas for improving like the PRs submitted and the issues submitted and have any guidelines with that, I would also appreciate that.
Yeah, for the change log, at least I know that in the SDK hub itself, we do have like a template of what the change log can kind of look like. So maybe this is just something we can start pointing more people towards. As I think maybe some of the barrier to entry or like to people doing that is like, oh, maybe I just don't know how to do it properly. But if we have the template here, so if we want to start pointing this out to them, then maybe that'll hopefully encourage them to start doing it a bit more. But yeah, I guess.
Maybe I can show you what oh wait, but it's not merged.
Yeah, if you want to share your screen, and kind of see more.
Yeah, I was just in another meeting, so I wasn't really set up very well. But
Sophie, this sounds like the case where you will need to work on promoting another maintainer to help out as well.
yeah, I would love to. I mean, I would like to be able to have like a process in place where it maybe like a little sort of training thing or something for a couple of weeks, and then okay, yeah, have a go at reviewing these PRs. I know I can refer to people in the issues when I have something to review. I can, sorry, I'm not like logged in on this computer, but I can assign people to review.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know a lot of these contributors. I don't know their Discord IDs. I don't have a way to contact them. I don't have their identification. We have a
Maybe
discussion session, but I don't know whether you could say like, hey, we're thinking of growing our review process. Does anybody have any ideas? Anyone interested in?
yeah, no, that's totally valid. And I think with once you start your office hours, that is a great time to collecting all those informations and eventually work with them or fostering them so that you can have more maintainers in your project, and that can help you with the load as well.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that sounds like a plan. That's a good one. I'll work on that one. And then what is it doing? The contributing guide. So I made this as extensive as could come to my mind, but I'm sure I've missed some ideas. So I've created in the discussion tab a section. If you have an idea of what I could add to it, I would really welcome that. I have such a variety of questions in the pull requests, and I've been trying to base it on those. But I know there's things that I will have missed, and it will definitely save some time to be able to do that. So it's not merged yet. But yeah, doesn't look great. But we have a section on how to do a bug report, how to do a feature report, how to contribute the code, and yeah, okay, I don't actually know how to get the. So I have like a step-by-step, really super detailed. I'm sure I've missed something, like fork the SDK, create the issue, get assigned, create the branch, create the draft pull request, and then we have like the steps to solving the issue, testing the code, trying a lot of the reviews, the time spent on the reviews is just saying, hey, you forgot to sign your commits, you forgot to rebase with the mains updates, that kind of thing. So I've got a lot of info in that. So I've got a step-by-step process with committing, what to do with breaking changes. So obviously when you change code and you realize there's an issue, maybe when you're trying to solve one issue, you realize, oh, I could also do this, I could also do this. And in that process, you can create some breaking changes. So we've had that issue come up. So I'm trying to say, okay, as a general rule, just change what's on the issue. And then if you want to do additional changes, create a separate request. How to do features, how to do bug reports, we have a section on how to do blog posts. But Jessica, I think I have a couple of questions on it because I got stuck with the image issue.
Yeah, no worries. I'm looking into it and I'm helping you with the image.
Yeah, so for now, the way I've been trying to get my head around the resource issue is just trying to improve the documentation we have. I will work on getting in touch with some reviewers and with the office hours. But yeah, if anyone has any ideas with what else I could add to the documentation, I would really appreciate that. I'll put the link here in the chat. And yeah, if there's any other idea, that would be great. Yeah, I suppose those are the things that are on my mind for this week.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about the office hours like 20 minutes ago. It wasn't even made the connection. It's like, yeah, that'd be a great spot actually to kind of discuss and figure out more. Who would be interested in kind of moving up and helping out with some of that stuff. But yeah, I mean, I think like, a lot of kind of what you were talking about, just like, when PR is like, oh, they need to update their fork or, they need to do this little thing here and there. Like, I think, yeah, having that document just kind of pointing out those things specifically, and just having that be able to point, new contributors to, it would be very helpful. Just kind of having all that information consolidated in one place for them to look at, would be great. Yeah, and again, yeah, like office hours, you can bring that up and talk with people through it as well, and just kind of give maybe a more in-depth kind of explanation of what you're seeing and kind of what you're looking for, just again, just help you out. So your PR reviews aren't all just the same. Please update your branch, sort of thing. So yeah, I think yeah, office hours is a good spot for that, and hopefully it you know is able to help you out with this.
Yeah, I think I'm looking forward to that next step of the SDK.
Mm-hmm.
How did it go with like growing the JavaScript SDK, for example? I see that's got a lot of activity, historical activity. Were there always like a big team of developers on that?
Well, I think we managed to move the JS SDK a lot in the last year. It had a lot of old PRs. It had a lot of unresolved issues, and just with some time, the community managed to start using it. Currently, I'm also focusing on the community itself and what our users need. So I don't think that we can do something. I think we just need to work on the SDK, and with some time, they will start using the Python SDK. And me and Simi and other people from the team, we created a lot of meetings with the community members. We talked with people from different wallets, what they want from the SDK, and just listen to them. And I think we started to resolve some of their issues. So yeah, just listen to the community.
I think that's a really great approach. I would love to learn more about the users. We're not even on version 1 yet. We're still on 0.0 point something. How do you build a relationship with the end users?
I think
What
Simi
have been
knew.
the channels to do that?
I think Simi knew a lot of the people that use the SDK, and for example, the JS SDK used a lot by wallets, and yeah, she just contacted them, and we started to build some relationships with them. I'm not sure how exactly she managed to get their contacts, but I think it was through Discord. I'm not sure what the main users are of the Python SDK, but I think if we contact them in Discord, we might see their troubles and issues.
In the Discord, do you mean like the Hiero Discord would
Yeah,
be
yeah.
the place?
I think so. I can ask Sim and message you. I think we have some people that are responsible for the relationships between the community and the developers, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, so I learned about the Hiero Discord, I think last week or something. So I'm a very new member. I saw they have a Python section, so that's why I joined. But
Yeah, I think like for the
I
last
wasn't sure
for
how
the
to
last
use it or anything.
3 or 4 months, we created a lot of meetings with the different wallets, and yeah, we just talked with them.
Do you know if any of those users are starting to think about using Python in
No,
like a
no,
complementary way? Okay.
no idea. But yeah, I think we can talk with them on Discord.
Yeah, actually that could be good. Maybe they're not using Python, but maybe they have heard of somebody who possibly is thinking about it or wants to do it on like a proof of concept or something. Yeah, if I might try and contact you later to ask about that. That would
Sure.
be, thanks.
Yeah.
That'd be very helpful to me.
You can message me in Slack. Yeah.
Okay, thanks. I guess that's the main that's the main thing from me. Sorry, I spent so long talking about it.
Oh, no worries. We still have a half hour left. So, did anyone else have any issues they wanted to bring up? Or just any discussion topics? Otherwise, we can call it. Alrighty, sounds good. Give you guys a half hour back. Thanks for joining, everyone. Talk to you in a couple weeks. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.